Boxing King Media in association with Boxraw. Paul Smith, a big fight night in Sheffield. I can't remember, I think the last time he was here was Dalton Smith headlining. Sonny Edwards, are they expecting a big crowd? How excited are you for the main event?
I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you though. No offence to Sonny and the main event, I'm really looking forward to Bateson. And I think it's a brilliant fight. I think it's one I've been looking forward to since I've seen it being made. Two really, really good fighters coming up, and that one's really catching my attention at the moment. But the main event should be a good fight. Alvarado's no mug, he's tough, he's strong, he's fit, and we'll hopefully see the best of Sonny Edwards.
It's very rare fighters so young in their careers with those fight each other. It's very rare, that, isn't it?
No, it is, but maybe we're starting to take a little bit of a leaf out of UFC's book, and fighters are realising now that although you don't want to think that going into a fight, a loss isn't the end of the world, you know, and both fighters are supremely confident, think they can win, but if whoever doesn't win, it's not the end of the world, and that's probably a better thing for boxing fans like us.
I've seen a few people are saying this is quite possibly the most dangerous fight Sonny Edwards has been in, just based on the fact that Alvarado stopped 31 of his 33 knockouts inside 6. Yeah,
no, he's a massive puncher, and I'm sure obviously Sonny Edwards knows that, but you can't hit what you can't see, and I'm sure that'll be the motto of Sonny Edwards, and he's really good at evading shots and getting out the way. His movements, quality, his defence is brilliant, and although he's not the biggest of punches, you know, he cracks hard enough just to let you know that he's there. So I'm backing Edwards in the fight, but I think he'll know he'll be in a fight, and he's got to have to work bell to bell for 12 rounds, I believe.
Definitely. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're training Ricky Gorman yourself, is it, at the moment?
Managing, yeah. He's trained by Terry Spencer. I'm managing Ricky, a couple of other lads, and a kid over from Saudi. So the management thing's taken off. Training-wise, I've had a couple of sessions with the McKenna brothers and do a little bit here and there. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm going to be training fighters. It's something I thought I'd never do, but to be honest with you, I like the game, I love the game, and I've got a lot of knowledge to pass on, and you know, you never know until you try. I've tried it now and I'm actually enjoying it, I really do like it, so I'll be training fighters from now, but Ricky's just managing, and yeah, I'm excited about him. He's a nice kid, he's got a lot of talent, and he's doing well. He's really raw, he needs a lot of work, but he knows that, and that's a breath of fresh air. The kid knows he's got to get better and better, and he is, so I'm excited about his career.
There's a lot of fighters coming back to do managing. There's obviously Darren Barker, Joe Calzaghe, who I've seen recently. So just for people who are wondering, what are the key ingredients to being a good manager?
For me, I've been managed well and I've been managed really badly. And for me, you've got to do more for the fighter. You've got to do more and take less. And that's a fact. I don't think any manager in this country deserves 25% of a fighter's wages. And the way I'm doing it, it will be totally different. I'll do a lot more and I'll take a lot less, and I think I'm going to see better fighters as a result. You know, just put a bit of faith into the fighter, get them good sponsorship. That's key. You know, a lot of managers out there can't get a sponsor to save their life, and more of them are interested in getting it for themselves. Get the fighter good sponsorship, look after them, make sure he's got a good trainer. If he hasn't got a good trainer, tell him. You know, warn him, advise him, do whatever you want, but you've got to be there for the fighter. And I think the more you put in, the more you're going to get out.
I've got to ask you, obviously it's up to you if you want to tell me, but you know, when you say you were badly managed in your career, is there any short story you could tell me about?
No, listen, my first manager was me promoter, and it just never worked. It didn't work. It was, you know, you're wearing two hats. You're wearing the manager's hat and the promoter hat. It's not a personal dig at anyone. It's just how it was. I wasn't managed right. I had other people doing the manager's job for me because mine was the promoter. So it's just one of them things. But you know, you can be looked after, and you can be looked after properly. And I think all fighters deserve to be looked after properly. They put enough in, and they deserve to have good people behind them, backing them all the way, and making sure that the needs are taken care of outside the ring, regardless of what percentage is coming in or what amount is coming in that percentage.
Good stuff. And I've got to get your opinion on the strong rumours that your brother Liam is potentially going to be fighting Chris Eubank Jr. on the 17th of December. I read some stuff online that Liam may not be entirely happy with the notice of 6 weeks. What's the latest on that?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I know my brother, I know he'll fight absolutely anyone, and there's no one, including Eubank, that he won't fight. He's signed for Sky basically on the basis of that fight, so the fight will happen. Whether or not it'll happen in 5 weeks' time is a different matter, and that's what it is from now. From Saturday, it's 5 weeks, it's 4 training weeks and 5 weeks, so I don't think either fighter would want to jump into that. I don't think Sky would want to jump into that. Trying to sell a pay-per-view in 5 weeks is going to be tough just before Christmas, so Personally, I think it'll be after Christmas, but we'll see. You know, Liam will fight anyone, anytime, anyway. You know what he's like. I don't need to defend Liam on that, but we'll see how it goes.
Your brother's been very outspoken on the whole Conor Benn situation. Obviously, I've not had a feedback from you since Conor's obviously come out publicly saying that there's contamination, etc. Where do you stand with it all, with what you know and what's been said?
Listen, I don't know nothing. I know boxing, I know fighters, and I know that doctor that's connected to him. The same doctor reached out to us, the same doctor. Why would any boxer need a doctor? That's how I've always looked at it. If you're sick, you go to the doctor, you go to your GP. If you've got a problem and you're lucky enough to have a doctor nearby, you go and see them if you know them. It's okay saying contamination, unless someone in that lab or that tester has put something in that bottle of piss. That's the only way it could have been contaminated. Well, apart from that, people keep saying about the B sample. The B sample is the same piss from the same cup. We've all done drug tests. You know, all this testosterone boosters and natural levels of testosterone being low, so you can go and boost them up with supplements. For me, it's wrong. For me, it's still cheating. I've had fights where fighters have been in against. I've had TUEs, therapeutic use exemptions, which means they can legally take testosterone. There's a reason why it's a young man's sport. You stop producing testosterone after a certain age, or your levels will drop dramatically. And the fact that you can go and get a doctor, see a doctor, get a note off him, and you're legally allowed to take testosterone is wrong. Then the drug that Conor Benn's been done for is clomiphene or whatever it is, and a lot of people who take testosterone know that that's what you take at the end of a cycle. So, you know, there's no smoke without fire. I like the kid, I always have done, but if he's taking performance enhancing drugs, then something needs to be done about it, and an example needs to be made, because where's it going to stop? Someone's going to get killed, someone's going to get hurt and killed. We've just seen a tragedy over the weekend. A lad's in an induced coma from the fight over, I think it was New York, and if the opponent fails a test for drugs or testosterone or clomiphene or nandrolone or whatever drug it is that they might use, what about that poor kid now who's in a coma? And I'm not saying he is, but it's one of them examples we're going to have to use. That's going to happen sometime to someone who's going to fail a test, and just by sheer bad luck it's going to happen. And then what will happen to them? You know, it's not a race. It's not you're going to run faster and win a medal. You can kill someone in there. It's very, very dangerous sport as it is. And if you're fighting someone who's taken, you know, performance enhancing drugs and having an unfair advantage and an illegal advantage, then the lines are crossed then, and there's no way back after that. So for me, if he's innocent, great. If he's not, he needs dealing with.
Very valid point. I just want to quickly touch up on, you said the doctor approached you guys as well. Was that to do similar sort of stuff like working, as in prescribe you medication if you needed it?
He's not the first person that we've been approached by. You know, do you need a doctor for what do you need a doctor for? No, if I've got a problem, the problems with boxing are usually your hands. If you've got an injury, I used to go in Melwood and see one of the physios. I was lucky enough to get in there, and he'd help me out with any injury below my waist. Any injuries I had, we had a Bass, top physio, top chiropractor, knows the stuff. Any problems with hands, we have Mike Hayton, he's the best in the country, the hand surgeon. Why would we need a doctor to be on board with us, apart from to administer illegal drugs or administer performance enhancing drugs, whether they be legal or illegal? You know, I had my last fight at 34. I had a world title fight at 31, 32, and probably 34 again. My testosterone levels will have been a lot lower than the younger opponent I fought in my last fight, and maybe the opponent that I was fighting who had a TUE, you don't know. But to get them boosted up is wrong, and morally it's wrong. I think fighters, all the rumours about Canelo maybe, if I'd have took the drugs that other people suspected people had taken, I wouldn't have won all them world titles, I wouldn't have won all kinds, but you've got to be good obviously, you know, but it's unfair, and fighters shouldn't be taking them. That old saying about banning them all, I stand by it, no matter who it is. If you fail it, and you can quote me on this won't come back to bite me on the arse, because me or my family or my friends, none of us take performance enhancing drugs. But if you're caught taking testosterone illegally or a performance enhancing drug, you should be banned for life. And if you make an example, it'll stop a lot of it in boxing, because that doctor's saying himself it's 80% of them on it. It's a load of bollocks, it's not 80%, but a lot of them are on it. There's no proof, we're never going to get proof, but it's happening, and it should be eradicated.
You'll know this from experience. A lot of people in boxing, unfortunately, when you're coming up, a lot of people want to hang around boxers and say, I'm friends with X, Y, and Z. Do you reckon there's an element of that?
I've said this for years, boxing is the easiest sport in the world to infiltrate. 1 minute a lad will be hanging around the gym, the next minute he'll be up and out in the corner, the next minute he's on top, and the rest of them are all being legged. And then he's a boxing trainer and a boxing coach, and he knows absolutely nothing about boxing apart from what he's watched. Boxing's a weird, funny sport. You know, you can debate with footballers about football, but they're the professionals, so the minute they talk, you be quiet. With boxing, you see professionals debating boxing with people who've never been in the ring before, and they're like, no, I disagree, and you have to just take it on the chin. It is what it is, but it's also one of them sports where someone could literally be standing here now watching, want to get into boxing, and get down to gym, and before you know it, they're in the corner helping out, and then they're trying to take over, and that's how boxing is, unfortunately. You know, we see it a lot with agents, with, you know, there's no such thing as an agent in boxing. It's a manager or not, or someone helping out, but we see agents, we see friends and strength and conditioning coaches who end up boxing coaches. It's just one of them sports. You know, I love it and I hate it. That's the whole top and bottom of boxing. I'm sure a lot of boxers watching this will be agreeing with me. It's the best thing that ever happened to me, boxing. But it's also the worst game I've ever been involved in my life, and I'm sure a lot will agree for them reasons. Infiltration of it, it's just too easy.
Paul, I really appreciate your time, mate, and we'll catch you again in the week.
Sam, thank you. Cheers, mate.